Hi everybody, it's Laura from Green Tree. I'm here today to talk about apples. I think if you've been in Michigan for any period of time, you know that this time of year is apple season. We had a little bit of a freeze in May that actually killed a lot of the Michigan apples, unfortunately, but we've been able to find organic Michigan apples and get them in. So if you're curious about them, you can come down and check out a few different varieties. So first, a couple of fun facts. There are something like 7,500 different kinds of apples. So there's a huge variety over what constitutes an apple. And they are actually one of the plants that, as we've bred them over time, we've bred them to be much smaller than they used to be. In the wild, apples can get up to nearly 40 feet tall, whereas most conventional orchard varieties don't get much taller than 15 feet. So I'm just going to give you a couple of quick little tips about apples. If you decide that you want to bake something like an apple pie or a strudel where you want the apple to hold together, you should use something hard and tart like a Granny Smith, because that's going to have more structural integrity. It's not going to fall all to pieces inside of your pie or whatever else you're making. So if you want pieces of apples, use something that is tart and strong like a Granny Smith. You can also go kind of in between and use something more like a Macintosh. This is an apple that's a little bit sweeter, a little bit juicier, great for eating, but it still has a lot of integrity and it'll hold together well in a pie or other baked good. And then we have some more delicate apples, things like this is a Fuji. Galas would be more delicate. A yellow or red delicious apple. Golden or red delicious apple would also be something that was a bit softer and wouldn't hold together in a baked good. There are a lot of different ways to use apples. You can, of course, make applesauce. I think most people have had that. You can do apple butter or apple cider. Oh, and that's a good rule of thumb as well. Smaller apples, smaller than this, where they're maybe 2 inches or so across, are pretty much only used for making juice. Because they're small and tart, that's the best application for them. It's just way too much work to cut and chop and eat them when they're really small. The other thing you can do besides baked goods, I like to actually, sort of a baked good, I love to put apples in pancakes. You can put little chunks in them, or you can put applesauce on top. If you are someone who eats meat, you probably had applesauce on top of pork chops, which is a nice savory application for apples. You can, of course, use apple juice as a sweetener. It actually works really well. And you'll see apple juice concentrate in a lot of natural products as a sweetener. It's an alternative to straight sugar and a natural way to give your dish a little bit more of that sweet treat feeling. You can make apple chips. You can make apple jack, which, is an alcoholic beverage, but, sometimes you want to take it that direction. Let's see. Those are some of the most common applications for apples. Apples are a really nice snack because even though they're not as high in vitamins and minerals as some other fruits, apples do have the advantage of having a lot of water and a lot of fiber in them. So they keep you feeling full for longer than some other kinds of snacks would. They're also really portable and travel well. Apples are definitely a storage fruit. I mean, if you think about going on a hike and throwing a strawberry in your backpack versus doing the same thing and putting an apple in there, you know what I mean. They also are great in a climate like ours because they do keep really well over the winter until everything else starts coming back into season. Finally, I'm going to show you what I made today. One of my favorite ways to use apples is in sandwiches. I really like them with cheese. You can just do apples with slices of cheese, but what I did was toasted the bread with apples and cheese and bacon, and that's a really good combo. But these are actually vegan because you know how I like to set myself a challenge. So these actually have chow cheese and carrot bacon on them, which might sound a little funny, but is actually really tasty. So whatever kind of combo you like to use at home, try pairing your apples up with something savory once in a while. Get a little more mileage out of this lovely fall fruit. If you want to try the samples or come down and check out our apples, I'll be doing this for the next hour or so. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Happy Tuesday. Bye.